Looking forward to that. Great job, Tyson. Thank you. Today on Growing Idaho, your thoughts on bus service. Last week, we heard from the Valley Regional Transit CEO about what she saw as the wins and also the continued challenges that they're facing just trying to keep up with growth. But what do you all think? Just recently, Boise City Council welcomed people to show up and let them know what they like about VRT and what they want it to grow into. Take a listen. Public comment started with Becky Walker, who lives in Boise but works in Meridian. She talked about how she cannot use the bus like she used to. That's due to VRT's recent overhaul, where it put more resources closer to where people already use the bus more often and had to cut down on some routes in the outer parts of town. She'd like more service on the weekends, at night, and in her part of town.
So I just encourage you to look at West Boise a little bit more.
Mary Beth Netting was also disappointed that VRT cut some of the midday or evening service in Northwest Boise, although did keep the peak service. She took a community-wide view, talking about how public transportation can not only cut down on traffic, but bring us closer together, literally and figuratively.
I do believe in a time when things are very divisive, that public transit provides an opportunity for us to interact with people who are not necessarily like us or who think like us, but that we can find that common ground through those interactions on the bus. You don't get that in a single occupancy vehicle.
Adam McCoy said he likes the recent changes to the bus service and is looking forward to future improvements, like real-time counters at the bus stops. He also shares the view that public transportation helps everyone and wants to see more people choose to take the bus instead of people being forced to take the bus. He believes dedicated bus lanes, even temporary ones, could be the answer to get more commuters on a bus.
They're sitting in their car in traffic. They get to watch the bus pass by them every single day. I think a smart approach is to look at ways that we can move the bus through traffic more effectively with simple means, something that can be piloted and tested with cones and paint instead of large infrastructure rehauls.
Beth Norton also floated an idea on how to get more people on the bus by making it free to ride.
So I would love to look at the math behind that and say how much income is VRT really generating through its rider fees here in Boise, and what would the city need to do, or what sort of fundraising efforts would we need to have to make up that gap?
The mayor of Boise, Lauren McLean, and the rest of city leaders have already done some of that math, and they say they cannot give any more funding to VRT. Boise is already its biggest contributor, while the state gives no dedicated funding to VRT or any public transportation. Idaho, the only state in the union to give nothing.
And many of the things that the public today requested that we consider funding would be better funded by the state funding transportation and working with us, or other cities joining VRT and funding, because we're at our max. So anything additional right now is impossible, as much as we'd like it to be possible.
So again, as we told you last week, it all comes down to funding. Speaking of public transportation, hey, what about rail? Last week, with the 100th birthday of the Boise Depot, we discussed the possibility of passenger rail and short commuter rail coming back to the Treasure Valley. People seem pretty pumped about it. But again, just like the busing and really anything, if you want it, you have to pay for it. And buying the land for it and building those stations and that track is not going to be cheap. In the end, it is up to you, the taxpayer. Coming up, we